औज़ुबिल्लाहिमिनश्शैतानिर्रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम युरसलु अलैकुम अशवाज़ुम मिन नारि व नुहासन फला तसिरान फबिअय्यि आलाइ रब्बिकुमा तुकज़्ज़िबान सदक़ल्लाहुल अलियुल अज़ीम। First year class invertebrate classification is our topic, and this is lecture number 4. You already know invertebrate classification. Invertebrate animals are those animals which are without vertebral column. Without vertebral column are notochord. I will tell you what is notochord, but I will tell you first group, which is the parazoa. What is the parazoa? These are very simple animals and they are without any symmetry. Without any symmetry. Such animals are called as parazoa, and parazoa basically are called porifera. Example is cycone. Example is cycone. And main identification of these animals are that they consist of one large pore and they consist of many pores. Many small pores. These small pores are called ostia. It is written here. And one large pore is called osculum, osculum. And these large pores are present to remove the water with the waste product. Mean water will enter through small opening with the food, and food will be digested, and remaining waste products, digestive waste product and nitrogenous waste component will comes out along with water by the long opening osculum, and that will be the way by which their body will remain, because they have no blood circulatory system, so water vascular system is present. And they have some layers inside the wall, because some modified layers, that is the conoderm. This inner layer is called conoderm. I am talking about the walls of these porifera animals. Cycone is the example, spongilla is the example. Name of animal is cycone, spongilla. This inner wall is with the flagella. This is called conoderm. Flagella is present because it will vibrate so that food will be digested. Some food will be digested in the cavity, some food will be digested inside these cells, and outer layer will be called as pinacoderm and inner layer will be called as a conoderm. So this is the water vascular system found in the porifera. Porifera mean they have the pores in the body. Simplest animal, without any symmetry, without any shape, therefore they are called as asymmetrical animals. Now I talk about symmetrical animals. If you go to symmetrical animals, I will start from the one group of animal, grade radiata. So what is the, first of all I will tell you what is the radiata. Radial symmetrical animals are called grade radiata. Radial symmetrical. What is the radial symmetrical? Look here, I will make a figure here. This is a animal. When I will divide by this angle, the both parts will remain the same, right? But when I will divide by this angle, both parts still will remain same. But when I will divide, for example, this is a head and this is the legs, human body. This is just like human body. If you will divide by this way, upper portion, A portion will consist of head and lower portion will consist of legs. It means upper portion and lower portion is different. So it means that I cannot divide human being into two equal parts by all angle. By all angle. By all angle mean by any angle I will divide, it will be divided into two parts. So it means that human being is a bilateral symmetry. Human being is a bilateral symmetry. We can divide the human being into two equal parts by one angle only, not by many angles. Okay, which angle is there? Only this angle I can divide human body by one angle. I can divide only by this angle. So half head will remain right side, half head will remain left side, one leg will be at the right side, one leg will be at the left side. So that will be the bilateral symmetry. If I talk about the flowers, like flowers, look, the flowers are round, and if I will, this is the central axis, this is the central axis. If I will cross this line, crossing the central axis by this way, the two flowers to right and left portion will remain the same. There is no head, there is no leg, because all four sides are equal. If I will divide by this angle, all two parts will be equal. If I will divide by this angle, all two parts will be equal. If I will divide by this angle, it means when you are dividing anything by many angles, like many angle, by passing through the central line, all equal parts are formed. All by each angle two equal parts are formed, that is radially symmetrical animals. Those are those group of animal is called radiata. So we go back, you understand the radiata, that by many angles, if you can divide the animal into two equal parts by only one angle, like human body, you can use only one angle by which both parts will remain the same. Those are the bilateria. I will tell you students, the bilateria mean bilateral symmetrical animals are more developed, and radiata they are less developed, mean that we can divide the animal into many angles, into two equal parts by many angles. So it means that is the radial symmetry, and these are simple animals. Example of great radiata, many group of the animal. One group of the animal, phylum Coelenterata, also Cnidaria. They are diplobalastic animal. Diplobalastic means they consist of the two layers. One is ectoderm, one is endoderm, and between them mesoglea is present. Three germinal layers are there. One is ectoderm, one is endoderm, one is a mesoderm. The mesoderm is not present in this case. Most important thing about the Coelenterata is that, my sons, that they had more than one forms. They had more than one forms, mean they have zooids. Zooids mean that one form, their one form is a gametophyte, mean that which can produce the gamete, that is the medusae. And their one form is unable to form the gamete, and that is the only asexual reproductive type, mean that is a neutral type, that is a polyp. So these animals have two form, one is a polyp and one is the medusae form. So this is the one information. But I will talk about the hydra. Hydra has only one form. Hydra only has the one form. Hydra has only one form. It has tentacles. What are the tentacles? If you see, this is a hydra shape. Hydra has small fibers. These fibers are called tentacles. This is a cavity which is a gastrovascular cavity. Hydra, simplest animal I will talk about. Simplest animal I am talking about. So now you talk about hydra once again. Hydra figure I am making once again for your satisfaction. These are the tentacles, and tentacles consist of stinging cells. Stinging cells mean those are harmful cells, and that make the tentacles organs of offense and defense, mean that attacking organ or defensive organs. This is a cavity, gastrovascular cavity, and hydra has only one polyp. Polyp mean it has no medusae, mean it is not much specialized coelentron. So it has only one form, which is a polyp. Okay, we come back to obelia. Obelia has many forms. Obelia has many forms. Obelia has the medusae, and Obelia has three forms. If any animal of Coelenterata has more than two forms, that is called polymorphism. That is called polymorphism. It has medusae, it has polyp, and it also has the one style, one another zooid, which is a new zooid, which is a feeding zooid, blastostyle. So zooid is three zooids in Obelia. They are polyp, mean not reproductive zooid, the medusae reproductive zooid, blastostyle feeding zooid, mean provide the nutrition to the colony. Obelia lives in the form of the colony. So two generations, one is a polyp, one is a asexual, and one is a sexual. Sexual zooid is the medusae, asexual zooid is the polyp. So that is the discussion we are doing. Polymorphism I defined already. Hydra is the example. One animal example I will tell you later on. Now we talk about example, we can discuss, no problem. Obelia, Aurelia jellyfish, and the Madrepora sea anemone, these are the examples. We go back to the bilateria. One most important thing about the advantage of the Coelenterata is that they can form the shells in the river, in the sea. Sorry, in the sea they can form the shells. Those shells, you know, those are the rocks by which the sometimes ships can collide, and those calcium carbonate composed shells are called coral reefs. So some animals are important because they can form the shells, and those shells are called coral reefs. Bilateria, Bilateria, I defined the bilateria can be divided into two equal half by one angle only, and they cannot be divided into two equal half by many angle. Human beings are the examples. Some developed animals are example. I am talking about invertebrates. I am not classifying human body here. Platyhelminthes, triploblastic animals, so they are more developed because they consist of, platyhelminthes consist of three layers. Many layers. Three layers: ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm. Example is liver fluke. Liver fluke is the example of platyhelminthes. Scientific name of the liver fluke is the scientific name of the 2-3 animal you will remember. Liver fluke, Fasciola hepatica. Generic name, species name I have spoken. Now I talk about the characters of the adaptation of the, because they are the parasites, digestive system is not well developed, and also reproductive system is very developed because they will reproduce much when they are in your intestine. Their life cycle is also complex because they will undergo two life cycle. One is a sporophyte cycle, one is a gametophyte cycle. So cycle means their pathway of reproduction. Epidermis is absent. They don't need digestive system because they will get the food from the host. They have adhesive organ because they have to attach with the host as a parasite, because they are parasites basically. That is the reproductive. Excretion take place by flame cells. Excretion take place by the flame cells, and the parasitic they are the parasitic species. And what will happen? Excretion takes place by flame cells, and I am talking about the phylum Platyhelminthes. They have well developed nervous system. One word I will speak: the composition of these cell bodies. The cell bodies collectively called ganglia. These are not much developed animals, so they have no brain like us. So what is the developed thing of nervous system in their body? Ganglia. Many cell bodies of the neuron gather together to form a structure, ganglia, which controls the body. We go back to some other characters of the phylum Platyhelminthes. Example is planaria, liver fluke. I talk about the scientific name of the liver fluke: Fasciola hepatica, Taenia, tapeworm. So these are the some animals which I have written, I have explained here. Now about the flame cells. These are the cells which are present inside the body. They just look like flame, and they collect nitrogenous waste component and enter into the body. So they are just going to absorb nitrogenous waste component from the body in the phylum Platyhelminthes. They are triploblastic, mean they consist of three layers: ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm. Three main germinal layers found in our body which form the all organs in the body, and that is organogenesis. Two main processes I will explain here: infestation, disinfestation. Infestation mean how the parasite attack the body and how it is more harmful, like coronavirus. Look at the proglottids. What are the proglottids? Like any animal of tapeworm, when it is inside the body, so it is each segment is proglottid. You did look at the each segment of the animal is the proglottid. Proglottid mean that one segment will fall down, will detach from the parental animal, that each segment will behave like individual animal. So that is the harmful. So it means I am discussing the harmful effect of this parasite, that is infestation. Disinfestation, how you will remove this parasite, how you will get rid of this parasite. It's very difficult to remove such parasites. So by medicines and by some other mechanisms we can remove these medicines. We'll go back to the another phylum which I just want to discuss here after Platyhelminthes. Echinodermata, I will discuss mollusca. But before that, bilateria group. Planaria we have already discussed. Liver fluke has one sucker. We'll go back to triploblastic element, that is nematoda. Nematoda, I will tell you, they have the false body cavity. False body cavity mean that, first of all, I will explain the true body cavity. If the body cavity is present between two mesodermal layer, here is also mesoderm and here is also mesoderm, this body cavity is called true body cavity, which is coelom, coelom. This is the true body cavity. If the cavity present between two mesodermal layer, that is a true body cavity. Here in this case, in one case the mesodermal layer is present, in one layer mesoderm is present, Other layer, mesoderm, is not present. So if the mesoderm is not present, ectoderm is present or endoderm present, that is a false body cavity, mean these animals are not much developed. And they are also, I will tell you, blastula is the larva. Blastula is the developmental stage during the germination, and this body cavity pseudocolum is derived from the blastula during the developmental stage. Blastula, there are three stages which I will discuss, but blastula stage involve in formation of pseudocolum. Their digestive system, as the alimentary canal, mean that is well developed digestive system. Their main reproductive organs, excretory organs are nephridia, and nephridia are present in the annelida. But in case of the nematoda, I will tell you, they have pointed ends. Look at, they have pointed ends. They are also parasites. Their body cavity is the pseudocolum, which is developed from the blastula. We'll go back to another phylum, which is the annelida. What is the annelida? Most important example of annelida is the leech, and the leech has two suckers. One is an anterior sucker, one is a posterior sucker, and anterior sucker is small, posterior sucker is large. It consists of very branched digestive system. Reason, it will absorb blood, and blood will be stored in the body, in the alimentary canal. Its body is segmented. This segmentation are metameric segmentation. Such a segmentation are metameric segmentation. What are the metameric segmentation? Metameric segmentation are those segmentation which are segmented. Body is segmented outside as well as inside. When you will cut the body, you can see the segments inside as well. Reproductive organs are nephridia. Segment wise they are present. In each segment, two nephridia are present, and they will remove the nitrogenous waste component. In case of the leech, and scientific name of the leech is Hirodo. Hirodo. And another Nereis. This is also example of the annelida, and it has the setae locomotory structure, which I will discuss. Earthworm also is the part of the phylum Annelida, which have also two type of the segments in the body by which it can move. So the main thing is that in case of Hirudo, is the parasite, and it is ectoparasite. We'll go back to some other Nereis is example of Annelida. The earthworm is the example of Annelida. We'll go back to another type of parasite. Ascaris is the parasite. It is the true parasite in the human body, and it belong to it is basically cause the disease in digestive system. Especially this one is very harmful, Encyclostoma duodenale, because it occurs in duodenum and it gets the food, and it grows very quickly in digestive system of human body. We have to now discuss about the trochophore larva. Trochophore larva is present in the phylum Annelida. This is very important character which I explained, my sons. In the leech or in the life cycle of the animals which are present in the Annelida, their developmental stage is different from the other animals' developmental stage. Developmental stage mean blastula come, gastrula come, neurula come. You will study in second year. But I am talking about a larva which is found in the Annelida, trochophore larva. So this is very unique character found in Annelida in one more phylum which I will also discuss. We'll go back to these are the animals are the pointed ends. They are talking about the nematoda. Once again, pointed circular muscles, smooth muscles are found. But now we want to discuss the arthropods, jointed legs. Insects, all insects are included in this group. Look here, the two legs are jointed. This is an insect like the cockroach, and one leg, this is the one leg, this is another legs, they are jointed. So these are jointed appendages are present, and you can see it body is divided into head, thorax and abdomen. These are the insects characters, and all insects are included, and they have one thing, Malpighian tubules in the body. Malpighian tubules mean those are attached with the digestive system. These are yellow color tubes. They remove the nitrogenous waste component, they enter the nitrogenous waste component into the tube, and their nitrogenous waste component, digestive waste component, comes together in the form of excreta with one pore, unique character of the arthropoda. And also their blood is not red because they lack the pigment hemoglobin. Like cockroach has no hemoglobin. Blood circulatory system is open because that is present in these spaces. And also tracheal system is found. Tracheal mean tubes. These are the Malpighian tubules, you can see, because Malpighian tubules, if you want to know the spellings, Malpighian tubules, their ganglia are much developed, circulatory system and nervous system is also good developed. And the tracheal system mean that there are tubes at the surface, near the surface of the skin. These tubes have small opening spiracles by which oxygen enter and carbon dioxide will comes out. That is the way of respiration in the annelida. Now come back to very important group of the animal, mollusca. If you listen, the freshwater mussel, snail, these are the animals with the shells. Their body is very soft, that is inside the shell. This is the shell, and shell protect the body. These are shelled animals, are mollusca. They are also the bilateria. They are also with the three germinal layers, and they are bivalved, mean their shells consist of two parts. They can fold into each other. Excretory organs are nephridia. Two openings are present, one is a mouth, one is a anus. And one more thing about that, they consist of a one pigment in the body, hemocyanin, which is also a pigment, and that pigment, like hemoglobin, transport oxygen. And a snail is well developed mollusca. It consists of many shells, so many shells are folded. And good thing about the snail is that first time these animals develop a tongue, which normally you know that you have a tongue in your oral cavity, so they can remove, that is rasping tongue. It can move out and it can attach some particles, food particles with the tongue, and that particles will go into the body, and that's the way by which it can eat. Foot is present in almost all animal like freshwater mussel. We'll go back to developed group of this invertebrate phyla, Echinodermata is the most developed group of the phylum, Echinodermata. Most important thing about the Echinodermata is that they consist of their body. Echinodermata, their body is their larva. This is very important. Their larva is bilateral symmetry, but their elders are, mean their animals are their animals are radial symmetry. So it means that larva can be divided into two equal halves by one angle only, and elders mean the main animal can be divided into two equal halves by many angles. So look like that Echinodermata, main animal, is not much developed according to symmetry because bilateria are more developed, but still it has some unique characters to resemble with the hemichordates. Hemichordates are the group of the animals which is between invertebrate and vertebrate, and invertebrate animal, the medium animals having invertebrate character and vertebrate character, those are called hemichordates. So they resemble hemichordates, mean they resemble chordates, mean they resemble the developed animals. That's why they are included in the last. Most important, their nervous system is very well developed, but their system is water vascular system. Look at the starfish, the unique animal in this group, which has small pores, madreporite, by which water enters. It has here tube feet, due to which it can move. There is no specific locomotory structure, but still tube feet are locomotory structure in the sense that water is filled in tube feet and they attach with one object, and then because due to expansion, when they contract it leave the object, and second arm attach with any object due to turgidity, you use the word in the plant, but due to water present in this case, so tube feeds are the locomotory structures with madreporide opening resembling vascular system of the sponge, but sponges are not much developed. It is a more developed animal. Reason because it resemble hemichordata in reference to nervous system. And other example of animals are there, but most important animal is in this case is the starfish. Now they are true, but they have the true body cavity because the cavity which is present between the mesoderm to mesoderm, that is the true body cavity. True body cavity is present, mean they are more developed animals. Thank you.